Alright, I believe we're live now. Let me take a look here. I just need to I just need to adjust a few things. First off, VATSIM Edge I don't need for today. Yoke Cam, I can configure that. Sorry, I mean, I've been sitting down here for a few minutes now, but just kind of beginning to wake up the sim and, well, just kind of beginning to get to the point where I can stream. Welcome aboard, Louis. Full disclosure, Louis, I've been sitting here with OBS opened and just kind of, and I've seen your message. I've seen your message. Well, your first for one's nice. All right. What I need is throttle cam. I need to adjust that. Configure video. Oh, why does this always have to go auto exposure? Kind of annoying. There we go. Alright. So today, we are exploring a simulator that I've never used. That was recommended to me by James. Today, we are going to be exploring Xplane. Xplane 12 in particular. Now, what I have over here is a list of add-ons, a whole folder of add-ons that I was told by James to install. Okay. And so we're going to install them kind of live. I've already gone through the effort of extracting most of them. But with that, so each one has a slightly different... Oh, you've got to be shitting me. You've got to be... Why? Okay, let's see here. Xplane 12. Custom scenery. See your aircraft. Yeah, I'd assume that... Yeah, why do these guys have to be such dickheads? And the reason I say that this guy was such a dickhead was, you'll see why in a moment. What they decided to do was put an extracted folder instead of an extracted folder, which I never recommend. As someone who knows a little something about file compression, it's not really recommended. Alright, auto DGS. How do we install that? README. Maybe the README might help. I don't know if we're gonna take off. Well, we are gonna take off, but it'll be some time. Assuming we get to a full flight tonight, which I think we will, it'll most likely be out of Edinburgh. Is what I'm thinking, anyway. But I cannot make any guarantee that we're gonna complete any real flight tonight. All right, let's see. Okay, that. You take a look at this installation. The README. Alright, this is the auto visual guidance system. Alright, how do we install it? Alright, how do we install it? How do we install it? Alright. Saved in, okay, output. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Okay, unzip it into resource/plugins. Alright, resource/plugins, where I get to do it. Alright. Xplane 12, resource, plugins, auto DGS. Okay, so there's a visual guidance system. This is, I have no clue what this is. If only the computer can actually work today. I think I might need to reboot something actually. Fine. Oh, great. After open up another fucking web page. I might have to reboot Windows Explorer in a moment because stuff's being a little slow. I wish I was doing this with James. Alright, let's see here. Advantages. No, I don't need that. Map app. I have no clue where this is supposed to go. Oh, that's why everything is taking so long. Okay, and not gonna lie, Notepad, this here is kind of annoying. All right, so some of these are still extracting. They've been extracting for a moment. Actually, I think they're all done now. All right, Avi tab, README, which we've looked at. Map app. Let's see here. This. I don't know where this is supposed to go. Alright. I will go ahead and ask James the question of that later. This 737-800 go into aircraft. Yeah. That's what I figured. Xplane 12 aircraft. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of the ones we've already done. Auto VGS, it's done. Alright. And here, let me go ahead and just clear a bunch of space here for the standpoint of delete all those. Alright. Let's take a look here. So this, I think we've already done this as well. Am I correct? I am wrong. So that gives us. I do kind of. I don't know if it's good. I haven't thoroughly tested it out. Yeah, I haven't thoroughly tested it out yet. And I kind of want to do it. I'm kind of considering doing it off camera in a video. Alright, this is PDF, which if I can read. So, but anyway, with the Dreamliner, I don't know if it is anything good. I mean, it's built off the 2020 Dreamliner, which this goes back like 6 months on the channel, but I wasn't thrilled with that. But yeah, all right. It is. I think this goes with this here. You get this. So better pushback goes in plugins. Resource. Plugins. So, now the Dreamliner is an aircraft that I would really like to fly. I want to assume that Avi tab goes in plugins as well. Well, I actually don't know. I'll find that out in a moment. Alright, this goes... This here... Where does this go into? Xplane 12. This... In the instruction... You'll find all instructions in the documentation subfolder. Alright, let's see here. With Luna. Or fly with Lua. No, that's not it. That's not anything. Let's see here. Manual.pdf. There we go. Installation. Okay, this goes into the plugins folder. And then we have a bunch of this, and I think all these go into custom scenery, yeah. And these are big ones here. Let's see here, that's good. Xplane, custom scenery. Custom scenery. Xplane. Okay, this here. So, custom scenery. Yeah, it would help if James was here. So James was the one who recommended me to Xplane. Then this morning was pay morning. And that means I have a little bit of money to spend on the sim. And then he showed me a picture of the 4-flight 777 earlier, and that just me sold. I was gonna try to build like an actual little enclosure, so one of these days, I promise. One of these days I'll get to Sydney to Perth. I promise you one of these days. So, okay, why is this here's being very, very slow? Before I was urging it. Yeah. Okay, I might have to reboot Windows Explorer in a moment, which would be kind of annoying, but I don't know what else to do. So Windows Explorer is being very, very slow today. Okay, Europe. This might a minute. Yeah, there we go. And then we have okay, so we have all those done. RAS, I would assume that this goes into plugin. User manual PDF. Alright. Installation. Let's see. Yes, plugins. Plugins. Resources. Plugins. So, for those who don't know what RAS is RAS is what's known as a runway awareness and advisory tool, and essentially, it tells the pilot, it gives the pilots that much more information, right, about their about to be landing, right. It'll tell, let's say you're in really low visibility environment, right. It'll tell the pilots approaching a runway, right. It'll also tell the pilots how much longer do they have left on the runway, from like a distance matter, right. Readme XT. This goes into where does this go into? Like plugins, yeah. This goes here. The train radar goes into plugins. But anyway, a RAS system is actually quite useful in real life, supposedly. All right, and then this guy you have to actually run anyway. But yeah, no, just gives the pilot, a RAS system just gives the pilots that much more information about their about to be landing. So, finish, and then for this, I'm gonna throw in the plugins tab, or in the plugins folder, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Right. I think we're about to... I'm going to grab a root beer real quickly. And then we're going to load up Xplane for the very first time. Alright. Xplane. Wait, what? What? How the fuck do you launch Xplane? How the fuck do we launch Xplane? I'm sorry, I'm just confused. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just confused because, Alright, let's see here. Xplane. Oh, there it is. There it is. Allow. And of course now it's launching on the wrong computer. Roger, Louis. Alright, we will see how this launches. Alright, let's see here. And while said, everyone, be advised, I have been... That's not a good sign, uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not a good sign. Oh, wait. Okay, hang on, that should not be there. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, let's see here. Let's see if Xplane is anything decent, shall we? Now, it is loading up on the wrong screen, which I will go ahead and acknowledge that. So... Alright, let me see here. Alright. So this year is my first time ever launching Xplane. I've never, ever used Xplane in the past. This is my first time launching it. We are going to try it. I went with Xplane 12 because that's what I don't know why I went with Xplane 12. It's the newest version, so hopefully it's the best version. We're gonna see. We're gonna probably fly the default A330. At least that would be my hope. Unfortunately, some of my software I'm going to have to reprogram, particularly software on my radio panel. I will most likely have to reprogram, which will be fun. It wasn't too hard to program the first time. Shouldn't be too hard to have to do it again. But anyway, we will see. We will see what Xplane is looking like. There we go.
Hey there, it's Austin Meyer, the author of Xplane.
Yeah.
Today, we're in a really nice plane, the Cirrus SR-22, and I'm going to show you how to fly it. Be aware though, I am not touching the controls. You're going to be one. I'm just going to talk you through it on the radio.
Hang on. Let me...
We're going to start by getting your seat adjusted. Hit the less than and greater than keys on your keyboard to scoot that seat forwards and backwards until you got it just where you want it. Now, hit the up and down arrow keys to adjust your seat up or down. Maybe you raise that seat a little so you can see over the dash a little better.
Alright.
Now, hit the Q and E keys to look left and right. Take a look out at your wings, for example.
Alright.
You might need to look up or down a bit. Hit the R and F keys to do that. Okay, you can move around the cockpit like you need to. Let's take a look at this bird from the outside. Hit the Shift 4 key to get an external circlet view.
Alright.
Hit the arrow keys to move around this airplane. Get behind the airplane so you can see the flaps back there on the back of the wing. Let's set those flaps for takeoff.
Here, you know what? New flight, there we go. Alright. What I want to do is I want to go back to the main menu. And I want to... First toggle that. But it's too late. But what I also want to do is... Oh, and... Nope. That's not the way to do it. What I also want to do is I want to adjust some stuff. Graphics. Okay, what I want to do is... I want to change the monitor to be this one over here. Monitor 1. Full screen. Nope. Unused. Monitor 2. There we go. And then this one here. Unused. There we go. There we go. There we go. Done. And then I also want to... Let's see here. What I would like to do as well is... General. Okay, English. Okay. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's see here. What I want to do at the same time is... I don't think any of these buttons here are working. Plugins. Fly with Luna. For right now, I want to disable this. Alright, let's take a look at some of these settings. Alright, flight. Main menu. New flight. Right, let's go ahead and get on the ground to Eddie. Shall we? Okay, in terms of airlines, we have some of them. We have an MD-82. We have some 737s. But more importantly, what we're going to fly today is going to be the A330, I think. Okay. Go real world weather as well. And then I also want to start off at Eddie. Edinburgh. And let's go withstand 1.5. Confirm. Start there, start new flight. Ignore for now. Alright, let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? Then we're going to see how performance is as well. So hopefully on a system hopefully on a system as powerful as mine, hopefully it's fine. Alright. Ooh, this is looking rough. This year's looking rough. Yeah. Okay. Let's stop that. Okay. This year's an A330. 4 is what it said, I believe. Alright. So, first off, I'm not through the livery, but okay. We'll fly with the Lufthansa one. Welcome aboard, Fry. Let's see here. We're on the ground at Edinburgh. Okay, the scenery is not bad. Hey, welcome aboard. Today we are exploring Xplane, and I may or may not need some help with it. That gets us a control tower view. No clue how to get back in the flight deck. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we can't try to deal with some of these settings, because some of these settings are looking horrendous. And here, tell you what, are we able to? Yeah, let's do that. Let's enable use VSync, and then also yeah, I know. Okay, this will work on in a few moments. Let's see here. I'm gonna show that for right now. Ooh, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to it. Alright. Let's see here. I need, and then I also want to show what it's using in terms of video memory and all that stuff. So frame rate. Yeah, I wonder if SimStats does it. Let's see. Search. CPU. Alright. Oh, the question is, what are we getting right now, though? Right now, we're getting 45 frames per second. Alright, let's take a look at this A330. Alright, first things first. Is there an EFB somewhere? Alright, or more accurately, can we get some dome lights? Also, the sensitivity here on the mouse is just a little bit not great. Dome. Let's see here. Okay. What are these throttles looking like? Okay, can we get this stop rotating, please? Alright, we have some controls we have to link first. But at the same time that I say that, we also have these screens are unusable. These screens are unusable. Alright, let's see here. Is there anything we can do about the frames? Graphics. What does this do? Okay, increasing, make it sharper. Alright, what about this? Yep, cooked. Definitely cooked. Alright, vegetation density, we don't need that. Texture resolution, yeah, I want that to full if we can do that. Alright, what about if I were to do that? Alright, we might have to, okay, it wants to do that now. So the goal for tonight is Edinburgh to Gatwick. Not on VATSIM, of course. Alright. In terms of the frames have taken a slight hit. Alright, that... Okay, the other thing I want to do is... traffic. Alright, let's see here. Network. Multiplayer. Okay. External. Okay, well, first things first. General. Nope. No need on that. Yeah, okay. Flight model. English is fine. Going out. Network. Nope. Alright, let's see here. Oh, first things first. Axes 3. Alright. Oh, great. This is gonna take a minute. Alright, let's see here. Axes. Three. So all good. Alright. That one I can ignore. Okay, that one I can ignore. Is there anything else on this here? I think we're fine on that front. next? Alright. Let's see here. So, this here is throttle 1. This here is throttle 2. Okay. Axis 6 is spoilers or speed brakes. Let's see here. Speed brakes. Yep, speed brakes. And then axis 7 is flaps. Alright. So we have that so far. See if we're to look down here now. Okay, so I have to do those. Why is the aircraft bloody running? Why is the aircraft fucking running? Okay. Is the EP running? 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and get this. Okay, let's go ahead and get this AP running. This looks pretty horrendous so far. Damn, I might actually be cooked here. Is it AP running yet? Not yet. Alright, you know, let's go ahead and get in. Okay, what about the 737-800? Maybe we'll go with an aircraft that I'm a bit more familiar with. Now, James said that the 737, these 737s were essentially like the fly-by-wire A320s, so I have much more faith in these. Now, if I can't get this to work within, like, let's say an hour, I'm a little tired. What we're going to do is I'll end up doing this with James. So, I'll end up getting James to show me a bit about how to do this and whatnot. So, damn, I was looking forward to flying that A330 as well. See if these 737s are any good. Yeah, we'll see if these 737 NGs are any good. I will say it does take a minute. All right. Okay, let's see here. First things first. Fly with Luna once again. Stop that. Okay, these screens here are really not looking great. That said, that looks decent. Alright, let's see here. First things first, can we get some dome lights on, please? How do we get dome lights? How do we get dome lights? Where are the dome lights at? And is there a way to start cold and dark? We'll figure that out in a moment. Alright. Let's see here. Oh, first off, that dome lights. Where are the lights in this thing? Okay, there's some lights. Yeah, this thing here is already looking a little bit better. Alright. Let's see here. Maybe there's a developer. Flight configuration. Let's see. Graphics. Alright, we'll see if that does anything right there. That does. Alright, that's not great. These instruments here are not nearly as good as, or as sharp as I wish they were. Okay. Okay. Here's what I'm tempted to do. I'm tempted to call it a night here. Welcome aboard Xplane stuff 747. We are messing around with Xplane, and I'm tempted to call it here for right now. Then watch a few tutorials, come back another day, hopefully with a bit more knowledge. Maybe consult James on Xplane, because not gonna lie, I'm kinda lost on what to do here. I'm kinda lost on how to do anything here. So yeah, even my throttle, so well, the throttles I can probably fix now. Which one is it? Reverse axis. So Baltimore Heathrow, that's gonna be Sunday. Sunday morning, 1 a.m. Eastern, 6 Zulu. Grumpy has had some luck with some of the Indie Builds aircraft. He's been able to get them to work, kind of. So that'll be the plan for Sunday morning / well, for me it's more Saturday night. Of course, we'll be flying the 777 as usual. And I'll probably need to do a positioning. I think I actually need to do a positioning flight from Kennedy to Baltimore, which we have now added that official route. All right, let's see here. What does the yoke look like? Calibrate now. Okay, full down, full up. This here, just get like that. That's not very convincing. Alright. Yeah. Do you have... Okay, yeah, I have to uncheck engines running from the aircraft menu. Alright. How do I do that? You guys have to help me out here. I'm a little over my head here. Alright. Also in the meantime, there should be... Is there another one? There not... Yes, there is. Calibrate now. Okay, and then... Ignore. Alright. So... Okay, finish. Okay. So that's the rudder, even though DCA quadrant, don't know why they do stuff like that. Alright, let's see here. Calibrate now. Full up, full down, full left, full right. Y'all. And then next. Yeah, you guys have to help me out with Xplane. Here, guys, you guys gotta help. You guys gotta help me out here, because I have no clue what I'm doing. All right, we already did that. Okay. First off, let's deal with these controls. Okay, so for the yoke. Oh wait, okay, that's roll. Pitch. Alright. Can do none. Oh, that'd be a good idea. Have you purchased the 777? Have you purchased the 777 out of curiosity? Because that is highly recommendable. Right, let's see here. This gets set to none. And then yeah, actually, so I was training James earlier on how to fly the I was actually showing James earlier how to fly the 777. So, oh, nice. Which one do you think you're going to go with? Out of curiosity. I have a love for the 772, but there are others out there. I just wouldn't get the freighter. I wouldn't get the freighter by default. But yeah, but anyway, which one are you thinking about getting? Nice, nice. Yeah, the 777 200ER. That's good. That's a good one. That's my main one that I use. Though I wouldn't rule out the 300. I would not rule out the 300. 300 is it's a slightly more modern aircraft. And what I mean by slightly more modern, it has a camera button that PMDG has not modeled. I wouldn't rule out the 300. I would not rule out the 300 though. 300 is still a good one. Alright, let's see. Alright, see, does the get modeled? I hope so. No. Oh, great. Let's see here. Flight configuration. May have to, okay, let's see here. Customize. Is there one that we can just, oh, wait. Start with engine running. I see that we can turn that off. Looking for the 800 NG. Okay, fly changes. Nice. Phoenix A320s is another good aircraft. Actually, the Phoenix, to be honest, is top of the line. You can't in Microsoft you cannot get any better than the Phoenix. All right, there we go. There we go. Plugins. Start ground service. Ground services. Ground power unit connect. Okay, now we're getting in somewhere. I'm still not thrilled with the way that some of these are. I mean, some of these textures I'm absolutely in love with. There are others though that I am 100% hating. Alright. So these throttles I might need to, well, actually I think I need to do this anyway in Synapse Pro. Okay. Yeah, I think I get to spend the next few days remapping all my controls and giving this thing a proper go. I think I'm gonna end up consulting James on a lot of this because I have no clue what I'm doing. Maybe I'll try to sit down with him for a few hours on Sunday. Maybe. So I'm in over my head on this. I have no clue what I'm doing. You're not. I don't think it does. I don't think it does. GSX I think is a 2020 only add-on. But GSX might have, or there might be something similar. But anyway, I'm in over my head on this. I have no clue what I'm looking at here, and I think I'm just a little tired. I think that's bigger. I think that's the bigger issue. Been up since about 9 today. It's 11:30 now, which sounds bad, but it's not as bad as y'all think. So. Alright, can we get the yoke to work, please? Yeah, okay, I was able to figure out the, okay, so back to the start menu. That's this, right? Because I gotta be honest, I don't really know what the start menu looks like. So, you know, I think I'll have to talk to James about how to do this. Because I have no clue. I have no clue what I'm looking at. I thought it'd be a little bit more like Microsoft, but at the same time, though, I guess I don't really know why it was thinking that. Let's see. Maybe we can. Yeah, I don't really know why I was thinking this might be a little like Microsoft in a way. Alright, let's see. Let's go back to this. Okay, right. Okay, let's go back to this. Heavies. Okay. Go back to the A330. 300. Let's see here. I love how there's no like thing there. Okay, start with engines running. That's off. Good. Swisser. Fine, we go aversion. Alright. Start new flight. Start. Maybe we'll try to go back to an aircraft that makes a bit more sense to me. AK an A330. Full disclosure, I don't like fully know how to fly 7.3s. Alright, let's see here. Plugins. Fly with Luna. Stop. Okay. Let's see. Plugins. No, it's not even that. It's just how on earth do I do this? Yeah, I can't see anything here. And then, is there a way to like get rid of all this old traffic here? Because the plan is eventually I'll fly this on VATSIM, and yeah. Let's see here. Accessibility maybe? No, graphics. No clue. No clue. Alright, see you, Fry. Yeah, I'm at a point now where I think I'm gonna... Thanks. I think I'm gonna actually just end the stream here and call it night because I'm a little tired. Sorry for the bummer part. I'm a little tired and I think I need James's help for a lot of this. So I think I'm gonna sit down with James again and hopefully he can help me out with getting everything set up and kind of using everything correctly. At least that's the hope. Because I have no clue what I'm looking at. I barely know anything about this. There's aspects here that are not tuned in the way I thought they would be tuned in. Yeah. Yeah, but I sent James a message, so. But anyways, in that case, sorry, in that event, thank you all so much for tuning in. Sorry, I'm gonna end this out on a bit of a bummer note, but I have no clue what I'm looking at all. I'm gonna need to really spend a few minutes here and there and really learn this thing, and I'm just a little tired right now. So yeah, sorry to end this on a bummer note, but thank you all so much for tuning in for the past hour or so, and I will see you all next one, which will probably be